Peace, brothers and sisters. It's your brother Rod Tahuti, and I wanted to speak on a topic here that I've been thinking about lately, and it's the whole concept of not letting religion kind of nullify you in regards to mental capacity, intelligence, or just being able to think. Um, a reoccurring theme I've seen throughout my life from being a child, growing up in Christianity and in the church, into my adulthood, to where I remained in the church and eventually became conscious. I've seen the same reoccurring theme, and that's people allowing religion to kind of dictate the knowledge or intelligence they're able to acquire. Therefore, meaning that they don't acquire the information that's needed or kind of update themselves as far as any information that could benefit them, whether it be personal or, family or community wise, because they feel like the religion is able to basically uh, clarify everything they need to know or dictate everything they need to do in their lives. And what I mean by this is that even in my current stage, on the job, within my own family, and even looking at others on the outside, those that seem to, put the religion on the forefront and kind of pledge their allegiance to religion, you kind of see them failing in other aspects of their life, whether it be the job, with their own family, or just with themselves. But they're steadily, saying that, I'm a believer. Nothing can break my faith. Always in the church. Always listening to gospel music, and that's all good and well. I'm not going to knock anybody for being involved in any type of spiritual or religious system. That's our own individual choices. That's the path we choose to pursue. But when it comes to, you know, degrading your mind or, ability to acquire knowledge or be intelligent, that's where we have a problem. Because at the end of the day, religion does not answer all the questions or it does not help with all the issues that are currently going on in the world today, which people like to say it does. For an example, in regards to black people, we seem to be the most religious people on the face of the earth. But how come, with all the religion that we have, if we're following this book by the T, following all the so called commandments, why is it that we're still being oppressed to this day? Why haven't we been lifted out of our current situation of relying on, you know, a white supremacist nation, or being able to move out of a white nation and kind of build our own nation? Why are we still relying on them, or why are still our people or our children getting shot down in the streets by these white supremacists? And why are we getting shot inside of churches to where we're praying to these gods, whether it be Jesus or, the main god of the religion? Why are people able to come into that sanctuary and be shot down, who are dedicating themselves to these certain principles of religion? And I'm not blaming the individuals that these things happen to. It's no one's fault that someone comes with a gun one day and decides to shoot everyone down. But we see, as far as black history is concerned, that that's a reoccurring event that's going on. We seem to be the most religious. We're always following this book to the T, but we're continuously being oppressed, and repressed in society. But in aspects of just society in general, and I'm not saying become a slave to society. It should be all of our individuals' goals to, kind of be self-sufficient and not have to rely on someone else telling us when we have to wake up, when we have to report to work, when we can go home, and all of that. But even in that regards, if you're relying on religion to where I don't have to raise my consciousness, or I don't have to know anything that's not, publicized in this specific book, no matter what religion it be, you're limiting yourself to the entity you're supposed to be. You have a brain that you're supposed to exercise. You have a brain that you're supposed to be filling with knowledge on a regular basis that's not always inside of a book. I see individuals becoming delinquent in many aspects of their lives because they solely rely on this book, and they think that, you know, maybe if I just study this book harder, my life will turn out to be, you know, more magnificent than what it is now or whatsoever. I see people, you know, as far as my career is going, I see people who are so religious and falling behind on, you know, simple tasks or just acquiring, you know, mere knowledge or whatsoever. They're not able to keep up with that, but these are the most, you know, flamboyant religious people. And like I said, I guess my point here is if you're going to be into the religion or whatever system you're in, be able to operate outside of it as well. Don't let the religion or the book bound you to some restrictive paradigm. Be able to, you know, elevate your mind or think outside of what's being told to you by whether it be a church head or just a church in general. Because our people can't continue on like this if we're unable to see now that religion has done nothing for us. And I'm not talking about on the individual means. You have some people that'll argue with you tooth and nail that, well, the religion helped me get off of drugs and Jesus helped me get out of this situation. I'm not talking about individual needs, because at the end of the day, that's up to the individual as well. If you want to stop doing something, I was talking to a sister yesterday. If you want to stop doing something, nobody's going to stop until they really want to partake in a better behavior or activity. So it doesn't matter about who you're deifying or who you're projecting as an image as far as getting you out of what situation you're trying to get out of. It's based on the individual wanting to take the stance, you know, and chance to get out of the situation that they're in. You know, so we have to kind of get out of that mind frame. And I'm talking about as far as religion not working on a worldwide basis for black people. It's not bringing us together. I'm talking about our neighborhoods. I'm talking about just us in the society. As far as the majority is concerned, religion is not working for us. If you can cut on the TV and one of us is getting oppressed, it means that all of us are getting oppressed. When we turn on the TV and see black people, old and young, getting shot down and killed in the street or killed in jail, that reflects back on all of us. That means that we're all in jeopardy of our lives. You know, a white individual, just as the events that's going on with the whole Las Vegas shooting, they will not criminalize this man for anything. They're still trying to find what type of, you know, mental issue he had or why could he have done this, because white people, whether they want to or not, they don't really rationalize how another white person is able to go out there and shoot as many people. Even though on a historical basis we see this as an event that's ongoing, they still fail to rationalize why would this individual white person go out and do this. Versus if it was a young black teen or a black man that's going out and doing this, they're automatically pulling up our criminal record. They're automatically criminalizing us, calling us a thug or whatsoever. But my point for bringing that up is to say that religion and the nation, as far as how it's set up, is in the benefit of the white population. So they don't have to worry about being, you know, demonized, you know, as far as the media is concerned. They don't have to worry about being demonized or criminalized, you know, as far as a worldwide stage is concerned. They don't do that to their race. So the religion and how this economy is set up, it benefits them, but it does not benefit us as black people. And one aspect of that is the whole religion. We have to, if a system's not working, you know, at least for a couple of years, an individual usually wakes up and says, okay, maybe I need to put something else forth and try something new. As far as black people are concerned, we see this system of religion hasn't been working up for us for hundreds of years, even prior to slavery, when we were introduced to the religion and took it on. We should be able to see now that this is an outdated system that's not working for us. And it's definitely not working if you're not able to acquire, or you feel ashamed to acquire, any type of information or knowledge outside of the book or specific religion that you're in. And just my last point before ending this video, even with the, now I love my Hebrew Israelite brothers. You know, they're out there hard charging. They're trying to wake up the people and save black people. They're actually focused on black people as a whole. But when you hear some of them in these debates and on the street, they're unable to get outside of the book. And when they're questioned by someone else who may be a scholar, you see that these people fall short of, just intelligence that anybody with a book should be able to pick up and read. I watched one debate where one Hebrew Israelite, he didn't understand geography, or he was unable to understand, certain scientific, principles, that we should be already have acquired in our adulthood, or should have known in elementary school. You can't be so gung ho on a religion that you're unable to, understand geography, or just basic principles, that we should be learning from an early age. So, and I guess his reason was that, if it's not in the Bible, I don't need to know that. And that's just, it's no explanation for that. None of us should be thinking like that. We should not be limiting ourselves to one book. Now, I'm not going to say throw out the Bible, but as far as my journey is concerned, I do understand that the Bible has been, watered down, or, misinterpreted, books taken out, books put in. The white man has put his hand in there. Everything has happened to that book to kind of, minimize it to the point it is today, and which the Bible isn't even a book. It's a collection of various books from different people the church, kind of acknowledges or whatsoever. But I'm not saying that we can't go in there and take out the pieces of wisdom and esoteric knowledge that's applicable to, self-awareness or evolving, or, consciousness. But I'm just saying, don't base the whole book as far as, it directing your life or whatsoever. There's certain areas, other areas in life we can explore, or we can take knowledge from different cultures and religions and apply it to our own spiritual path. But please, black people especially, don't don't limit your mind or your ability to learn, or, I'm not even saying prove yourself to anyone, but be able to be successful as far as sustaining yourself or your family, because you don't want to think outside of what a book is telling you to do. That's all I have. Peace.